Namaste. Welcome to Try Yoga for Health. I'm Brahmi, the director of TriYogaBoston, and in this segment we will be discussing yoga for balance. It can be said that yoga is all about restoring balance to the life, and not just physical balance, but balance of the emotions, the intellect, and spiritual balance. While many think of yoga as just physical exercise, there is a wide range of yoga practices to address every part of our life. In fact, it is the most complete system of health around and has been around for millennia. There are many causes of imbalance. It can come from inner ear problems. Personally, 25 years ago, I had an inner ear infection that left scar tissue. Over time, my brain learned to compensate for this, but still to this day, if there's imbalance in my life, if I'm not sleeping enough, if I become ill, the first symptom I get is dizziness. So I have learned that maintaining balance throughout my life, getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, drinking enough, managing stress, balancing work and relaxation, and yoga has techniques for all of these, can really help restore physical balance as well. Other inner ear issues that might cause imbalance include tinnitus, Meniere's disease, or even dislocation, some wax that gets in the inner ear canal. There are also neurological issues that can cause imbalance, including MS, Parkinson's, or even a brain tumor. And some of these issues are proprioception, not understanding where the body is in space, and that could cause imbalance. Now, if you have balance issues, please make sure you have seen a doctor. Do not substitute these practices for medical care. But if you do have a diagnosis, these practices can help you manage symptoms and bring balance to your entire life. Regardless of the cause of balance issues, I find it very helpful to focus on centering. So when you're experiencing imbalance, these practices will help you find your center and focus. So let's get started. Sit comfortably on a chair with spine straight, both sit bones on the chair. You can use a rolled towel or a small pillow under the sit bones just to help tilt forward, to help keep the entire spine straight. And if the feet are not completely on earth, make sure the heels are directly under the knees. You can also place blocks or perhaps phone books or other books under the feet. With sit bones pressed into the seat, lift and lengthen through the spine. Draw the shoulders back and down, crown towards sky, and begin to bring your awareness to the breath. Breathe in and out through the nose, allowing breath to become slow, steady, and even. Slowing down the breath begins to slow the thought waves of the mind. Breathing in and out through the nose calms the nervous system. It reduces cortisol levels in the blood, the stress hormone. Finding the steady, even pacing of your breath. And then we'll begin natural breath. Stop. Thank you. You can place the hands on the abdomen with the middle fingers touching. And as you inhale, expand the abdomen and the fingers slightly separate. Exhale, the fingers come together. Keep the breath slow, steady, and even. Breathing in and out through the nose. Use this diaphragmatic breathing. And it brings your center of gravity down. This is the first step to regaining balance. If you're feeling dizzy, start by focusing on the natural breath, finding the center of the breath. And on your next exhale, follow breath all the way out, and we can begin complete breath. Expand abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, filling the lungs to maximum capacity. And as you exhale, fully release all the air, pressing navel toward back of spine at the end of the exhale. Continuing with complete breath, breathing in and out through the nose, breath slow, steady, and even. In many cases, focusing on the breath and finding your alignment, centering will be enough to release those waves of dizziness and regain your balance. Keep the eyes open and focused. Closing the eyes can increase imbalance and make you feel dizzier if that's one of the symptoms. Next, we're going to begin victory breath, Ujjayi breath, and this is very helpful for balance. The throat chakra is considered to control balance. On your next exhalation, follow breath all the way out. Inhale, make the sound of ah. On the exhale, open the mouth, make the sound of ha, and try with the mouth open a few rounds. Continuing with this breath, listening to the slow, steady sound. And when ready, closing the mouth, make the ha sound on the exhale with the mouth closed. Continuing with this Ujjayi breath, you will find it's very centering, very focusing. You're listening to the sound of the breath. It can really wipe out all other thoughts. And we'll continue with this breath through the practice. Now, when finding your center, it's also very helpful to strengthen the core muscles so you can maintain a good alignment. We'll begin with a few exercises. You can leave your arms to side. On your next exhalation, bring right knee toward chest. Lift heel, ball of foot, toe, lifting knee up. Exhale, release foot to earth, toe, ball of foot, heel. Alternating sides, flowing with the breath. You'll find this takes quite a bit of strength. And if you feel you have to round to lift up because you don't have the strength yet, you can hold on to the sides of the chair and keep the spine lifted as you continue. Exhaling, lifting, inhaling, lowering. Breath slow, steady, and even, using your Ujjayi breath. And you can continue more rounds. You can start with few. As you begin to develop strength, do it for longer and longer. Next, inhale, extend the leg out straight, point through the toe and lift. Exhale, release foot to earth and bring foot in. We'll stay on same side now. Inhale, lengthen out and lift. Exhale, lower. And once again, if you're having trouble keeping spine straight, you can hold onto the chair. Engage your core strength here, navel pressing toward back of spine. Feel those sit bones on the earth. Feel the spine lengthened as you lift and lower the leg. And the next time you lift the leg up, sustain. It can also be helpful to clasp hands under the thigh to sustain. And when ready, begin ankle rotation, slow circles with the ankle. Keep the legs straight. It's as if you're drawing a circle with the big toe. Keep the spine lengthened. So we are strengthening the legs here, strengthening core strength, all things that are helpful when you want to stand up straight and steady. After your next rotation, reverse direction. Keep the breath flowing. And after your next rotation, sustain. Now, sometimes for some conditions such as Parkinson's disease, people can experience tremors in the body. And I encourage you not to fight against those tremors. So if it works better for you to do a Kriya coming in and out of the posture, that is also strengthening. So if you feel it difficult to hold your experienced tremors, just release and continue with the Kriya, lifting up and lowering. Or maybe you want to hold for 1 or 2 breaths, and over time you may find you may increase that time. So don't strain with anything. Most importantly, stay with the breath, stay with your centering. When ready to release, on an exhale, slowly bring foot down. And we'll begin other side. Inhale, lengthen out and lift. Exhale, releasing foot to earth, drawing it in. Continuing same side, lengthening as you lift. Exhale, lowering. You'll notice as you press sit bones into earth, keep spine lengthened. You really have to engage the core strength. Keep navel pressed toward back of spine. We're keeping awareness in this core center. There are other practices that also help you strengthen your core. We do have a segment on Free the Spine. And there I would say the bridge rolls are very helpful for equally strengthening abdominal and lower back muscles. On your next inhalation, sustain. You can sustain this way, you can hold the hands on the chair, or you can clasp hands under the thigh. When ready, begin ankle rotation, slow circles with the ankle. This is engaging every muscle and ligament with the leg. It's also helping move lymph through the body, good for the immune system. Try to keep that movement isolated to the ankle. After your next rotation, reverse direction. And after your next rotation, sustain. You could try sustaining with foot flexed or lengthened. You're working a different set of muscles. Keep the spine lengthened. Once again, only sustaining. As long as body can hold, if you feel tremors or weakness, just release. Or you can just do the Kriya flow. As we sustain, allow the exhale to lengthen, becoming twice as long as the inhale. This 1 to 2 breathing ratio is especially centering for the nervous system, calming the nervous system. It's been shown to lower blood pressure. When you are ready to release, on an exhale, slowly release foot to earth. Now we're going to prepare to stand, but we're going to do it in a strengthening way. Now some people become very dizzy and imbalanced when they first stand up, and that's a blood pressure issue. So we're going to do some techniques that will help you strengthen your core and come to standing very gradually. You can have your hands on the thighs, you can have the hands on the chair. Come to the very edge of the chair, bring feet forward. And on your exhale, hinge forward, keep the spine lengthened. Press heels into earth. Inhale, lift the hips. You can press into the chair and then exhale, lower. We'll do this a few times. pressing in. Inhale, lift. You're using strength of the legs to do this. You're using your core strength, using strength to keep the spine lengthened. And then when you come to sitting to this squat, sustain. You can have hands on the thighs. You can hold one breath. You can hold a few breaths. You will feel the strengthening effects. When you are ready to release, and notice the head is not below the head, we're giving the body time to adjust to come into a standing. Press the heels down, press navel toward back of spine, and slowly roll up. And now come toward the back of the chair. You can hold onto the chair if you have any issues in balance. We can move the chair just slightly forward. And I'm using a chair on the mat to make sure it doesn't slip. So if you don't have a mat at home, make sure you have a surface or rubber on the chair so it is steady and sturdy. We're using this for balance. Now let's center in standing, and you can continue to have hands on the chair or you can have hands down by side. Feel the weight evenly on the feet. You can pick up on the toes and balance on balls and heels, inner and outer feet. You'll feel your arches lifting. And then you can release the toes to earth, spreading them wide apart. Feel all parts of the feet on the earth. Feel the arches lifted. Soften behind the knees. Make sure you're not pressing back and hyperextending the knees. These arches in the body are very important because this is the most strengthening, the most stable architectural structure in nature. You know, the aqueducts are still standing. All the Greek temples that were built with pillars and flat roofs have collapsed. They're in ruins. We have natural arches in the body, in the arch of the foot, behind the knees, the lower spine. There's a concave arch in the thoracic spine and the back of the neck. We want to engage all of them. That gives stability to our standing. Grounding from hips down. Engage your core strength to maintain that alignment. Inhale, lift and lengthen from hips up. Shoulders relaxed, arms down by side. Finding the center of standing again, holding onto the chair if you need to. Center. And pick a point in front of you. Focus on the breath. Use your Ujjayi breath. On your next inhalation, lift up on the toes. And exhale, slowly lower. Continuing with this. Breath slow, steady, and even. Exhale, same length as the inhale. So you're maintaining that sense of alignment as you're lifting and lowering. You can continue with hands on the chair, or you can try one hand off. You can even alternate hands, arms, flowing with your breath. If you're feeling very steady, you can lift both arms. Moving with your breath. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. And again, you can continue with just the Kriya flow, or when ready, you can sustain. You can sustain with two arms to chair. You can sustain with one arm. You can try lifting both arms up. Navel drawing in. Engaging those legs that we just worked out and strengthened while sitting. Lengthen through the spine using your Ujjayi breath. Try to make exhale longer than the inhale. Steady focus, steady gaze. Don't fall out of this. Use your chair when you need to. And when you are ready, slowly release. Now we'll try a very traditional yoga posture called Tri. Center and standing. Shift the weight to the left leg. Bend the right knee slightly and pivot on ball of right foot. Now place the heel against the ankle. This may be as far as you want to go right now. That is fine. You can try placing the foot below the knee, or you can use your hand and bring it above the knee. It should either be on the earth, on the ankle, below the knee or above the knee, not on the knee. That would not be safe for the knee. You can continue to hold onto the chair. Use your Ujjayi breath. Exhale longer than the inhale. If you're feeling steady, you can bring one hand off. You can bring hands into completion mudra. If you're steady, you can bring hands to Anjali mudra at the heart. You can bring arms, see, if you're steady, hold on. You can bring the arms overhead, only if you're steady. And ready to release, you can bring hands to heart, you can bring hands to chair, you're staying on chair. Bring the knees together, hold on to the right ankle. You can hold here. You could extend left arm overhead or out in front. Moving in your time, we're gradually building up. And when ready to release, hand to chair or arm out to side, release hand and foot. Other side. You can hold on to the chair for support. Bend the left knee, pivot on left foot, placing left heel to ankle, sole of left foot to beneath the knee, below the knee, or above the knee. Grounding through the standing foot, drawing navel in, lengthening tailbone toward earth. That brings the pelvic floor into alignment, engaging all the right muscles that help you sustain balance. This is practicing balance. You can have your hands on the chair, hands in completion mudra in front, and the chair is always ready. If you're feeling more intrepid, you can bring hands to heart, or you can bring them overhead. When ready to release, try to come into half stance, bringing left knee to right, holding on to left foot. You could extend arm out in front or overhead, another balance. Squeeze the knees together, use your Ujjayi breath. Some wiggling is actually strengthening for the leg muscles, but don't lose your balance. On your next exhale or when ready to release, arms comes to side, release leg and foot and center. I hope you will find these simple practices helpful. And the key to success is daily practice. 10 minutes a day is better than an hour a week. So try them, build on finding your center, your core, and bring everything into balance. Namaste.